Welcome back to Explore Like a Pirate's YouTube channel. I'm your host, mrmatera. Really happy to be here today as we have another crew question coming from you guys, and I really appreciate you guys submitting those. I think I'm up to 17. I think I've answered 8 or 9 of them. Today's is timely. It is all about the start of the school year. I don't know where you guys are at or when you're watching this, but I'm shooting this right at the end of the summer. And the question is, you know, gamification, day one, how do you roll it out? What does it look like first day of school? And for me, no different than before, but I don't know if your first day was different than my first day. Pre-gamification, I was all about building team spirit and getting those kids to work together and be excited to work together and bond as a team. So I usually took almost an entire week and sometimes even a week and a half all about team building. Wasn't even getting into my content yet. We were doing all sorts of different like trust falls and other activities, and it was so fun to see the kids get excited to come to class, to learn to work together, and I swear that has such big payouts throughout the year. So take the time in the beginning to set up your class so that the kids are excited to be there and excited to work together and learning how to work together and what strengths they have, what weaknesses others have, so that when they build their groups, they can be so much more intentional about creating successful groups and working well together. So for me, my first day is all about the team building. Some of the team building that you guys could do, I totally suggest checking out a website called Wilderdom. I will put it in the show notes down below. They have some great sort of camp activities on there. I have taken some team building activities that the kids really love. One of my personal favorites is called Helium Stick. This one, the kids love it. You just use a simple tent pole from a camping tent that I have laying around. It's a super long tent pole, and kids all have to be on both sides of it, right? And they have to put their fingers running just below it, and they're not allowed to sort of curl around it, and they are all standing up, and I'm kind of holding it down, because the sort of kinetic energy of the entire group makes this thing want to sort of elevate up, and that's why it's called Helium Stick. And the students, the moment you say that, the goal, I forgot to say that, I'm sorry. The goal is to lower this thing down to the ground. And once you sort of release, and the kids aren't allowed to curl, and they have to be touching it at all times, it instantly starts to fly up, and they're like yelling at each other, "Whoa, Tommy, why don't you just this, blah, blah, blah." And I make them put it down, and we break it down, and we say like, what happened, what went wrong, what went well? Do you have a strategy for the next time? And I mean, we do this for probably 20 minutes, strategizing, trying, and then they eventually get it, but then they try to like beat their time. And I strongly suggest keeping track of records to tell your students that this is faster, this is the best time I've ever had, you know, so that kids kind of get excited to work together. What I don't do is share how the current year's other classes has performed. I sort of reveal that at a lunch. So at lunch I sort of announce that, oh, the House of Torn had the best time, you know, at 8 seconds or 3 seconds, whatever the case may be. But I do team building activities like that. Another great one is Marshmallow Challenge. Check that one out. Super simple and super fun. I even took that one and wrapped it into my theme, so it's just this thing about building these spaghetti towers and putting a marshmallow at the top. Like I said, super fun, super zany. Cool for me to see the leaders in a group and see how they're going to work together naturally, kind of day one, day two. But what I did with that one is I wrapped it a little bit into my storyline, so I made this thing where they're making siege towers. That's what they're pretending to make, and that the realm of nobles is getting invaded, and it's up to them to protect it. And so I took the idea of spaghetti towers with this marshmallow and just converted it a little bit with theme and said that we're building, you know, guard towers and watch towers and whatnot. Really, the mechanics of the thing were the same. So that's really like my first day is, I mean, I introduce myself, maybe I go around and do the name thing, and then it's straight into one of these team building activities for the rest of the day. And then they come the next day and they're all ready to hear the boring rules of my classroom and whatnot, and boom, they get another day of team building. And like I said, I'll do probably a week Now I'll probably do a week and a half because I only see the kids every other day on our new sort of block scheduling, but invest that time. And then the other mistake I would say is don't make that just a first day thing or a first week thing. Invest that time again some other time. Let them learn how to work as a team. It's such an important and valuable exercise. And you know what you can do while you're doing all these challenges is model the rules that you're going to put in place. And I'm not talking about the game rules, I'm talking about your class rules, about respect, about listening to each other. This happens so naturally as we're having kids try to talk out and strategize reducing or lowering that helium stick. I ask kids, you know, hey, excuse me, you know, Billy's talking right now, and we're going to give all of our attention to Billy. And kids just naturally learn the flow of your class and what's kind of allowed and what's not allowed. So then whenever you do get to that sort of rule contract that you want to create, it doesn't end up being some sort of, you know, boring thing. It's already happening. And when you ask for their suggestions, what should be in a rule contract, it happens naturally for them as well, because they've already existed inside your class. They've already seen it work. And now they're almost just saying what you've already put in place. So first day, have some fun, do some team building, check out Wilderdom for some other team building activities. Wrap it into your theme if you can. Generally, first day, first week, it's about building relationships. With that said, I hope we're connecting here on YouTube. Please follow me and subscribe to my channel. Check out Explore Like a Pirate for other ideas, blogs, vlogs, whatnot. Happy to be here with you. Thanks for connecting. Take care.